So this was definitely a fun film to go opening night to. I distinctly remember it. It was a classic Marvel opening as per usual, and it was fantastic, especially with it being a comedy. However, this film, first off, it was great back then, and I'm glad to say it's still great today. I believe it's one of Marvel's best ever made, and it's just fantastic. And the opening was quite a surprise because it really is super dreary and dramatic, and back then it was still very emotional, and it's more so emotional to me today because I have gone through what Peter has gone through in that opening, and it is the worst feeling, and seeing it tonight, it made me cry both at the beginning and when it comes back around at the end. It was just super sad. I completely empathize with Peter and feel for him throughout, and it's just a great film with full of emotion. It's perfect amount of drama. It very much takes itself seriously for it being such a wacky premise, and that's really quite surprising and impressive that they pulled it off. It's a perfect amount of drama and humor. There's quite a bit of humor, but not too much that it's overbearing. Kind of like what we got in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which I will get my fresher thoughts when we reach that, but I'm just trying to figure it out. It's whatever. But this film, wow, it is just fantastic. As far as Ronan the Accuser, of course, he's not the best villain. He is rather weak. However, I do like Lee Pace's voice, so I guess there's a positivity there. Also, you get a big introduction on Thanos. He gets a whole scene where you see him in all of his glory-ish. I mean, he's not like super powerful, he's just sitting in a chair. But you do get to see him and hear him, and he is quite intimidating when he's speaking down to Ronan, and it's just super cool. It's really fun. This is a great adventure film. I remember back in 2014, the critics were saying this is the new Star Wars. It's not very true. I mean, it has similar beats to Star Wars here and there, but it's not Star Wars. Like, nothing can be Star Wars except Star Wars itself. But Guardians of the Galaxy is up there. It's great. It's one of Marvel's best. I really hope we can get something more akin to this in Volume 3, and I hope there is comedic and well balanced with dramatic elements come Infinity War. I'm very much looking forward to it. As far as the end credits scene go, the first one was Dancing Baby Groot, which I'm not going to go too much into, but I will get into this dreary, rather awful news that James Gunn came out and said by correcting a fan. Apparently, Groot never came back to life, which I always assumed that was the case because that's how the comics went. No, Groot did in fact die, and the baby Groot we see in the sequels and onward, that's actually Groot's son, which is just insane to think and really sad because then I did technically see Groot die. The death isn't cheapened because he really did die, and he has an offspring, but I would just always view it as, and we all did, that just it was Groot reborn from the smallest splinter, because he can do that in the comics, but apparently this is Groot's offspring, which is kind of depressing to think, but if you choose to go on thinking that it is the original Groot, I don't think it's going to hinder the story or anything in the Marvel Universe whatsoever, so you do what you will. And the second end credit scene was Howard the Duck, which was really funny to see, quite hilarious. Everybody got a big laugh back in the theater in 2014, and it's still funny today. It's so awesome. It was great to see him cameo again in the sequel, and I wonder how much he'll be a bigger player. He'll probably just stay in the cameo role, but it's so great to see him. And on that note, I did want to update you guys, if you did not already hear, which I doubt you haven't, Avengers Infinity War has been pushed up a week, so it's actually releasing a whole week early on April 27th, which is insane and awesome, and it really messes with this challenge because this is supposed to be a 1 week thing leading up to Avengers Infinity War. Now, 2 films are going to be stacked back to back in 1 week. And I'm actually here to ask you guys, I am running a poll on Twitter, but you don't have to necessarily go there, or you can. But I also want to ask, which films do you think should pair back to back? Now, I'm exclusively giving you 2 options, which you can comment below. Do I do Avengers Age of Ultron and Ant-Man? Or do I pair together Ant-Man, and Captain America Civil War. That's what I'd leave you with. Next week we are tackling Age of Ultron. Whether or not I also do Ant-Man, it's up to you guys, up to your decision. I'm also going to go by the Twitter poll and incorporate that with the comments I get on this video, so let me know. And it's super late, so I'm going to take off. If you guys enjoy this, hit the like button, subscribe if you're not already. Tune back next week, every Monday, 1 p.m. for a new review of Avengers Infinity War Challenge. And that being said, guys, hope you have a great day. May the Force be with you always.